Well, I think it's an improvement, a serious improvement. I'm very pleased that we have an Elmo, and that has improved the relationship between the landlord and the tenants and leaseholders immeasurably. From the early days when I was first a tenant, we were regarded as people who just sat quietly and did as we were told, and we are now seriously encouraged to be involved. I find that a real step forward. I'm not really sure. I think they've tried very, very hard. I think trends are something that they could take more interest in looking at, not just individual cases, but how trends come into focus. Well, you have to convince people that you do really care. There mustn't be anything false or phony about that. You have to be very, very sure that the people you employ are people who do really have people skills. I think getting it right as fast as possible, and the tenant might have to be a little forgiving in when they get the work done. Oh, Shrubbin is a very nice estate. It was built in the late 1940s, and so there's a lot of greenery around. People aren't packed in as tightly as they are nowadays, so we have nice long gardens and greensward and plenty of trees. So it's quite a pleasant place to live. There's always things that can be improved. Having said that we have lovely trees, they aren't always taken care of us as much as they should be. I realise there's a financial problem there, but they do need looking after, and they're an awful nuisance when you walk along and get smacked in the face with a branch of a tree. Yes, I think that's acceptable, providing it becomes really obvious very quickly that you are getting something for your extra money. I think that might be a problem, to make sure that everybody can be convinced that they are getting more for their money.
They do best repairs. Since last year, they are getting more clued into that. And also, sometimes they listen to what the tenants have to say. Sometimes they don't. Communication. Better communication with the tenants and leaseholders. That is really the main part of it that they have not got at the moment. Well, the staff have to be pleasant and polite, and like I said, more communication. Communication in this day and age is the most important thing. And if you haven't got that, well, you haven't got anything. And I think they need to work on that area. The staff usually are very polite and very pleasant. It's just that communication which is the stumbling block. We need to Tesco's.
What a Tesco's? Seriously?
It's a nice area. We need to the country park, and they are fairly new houses. They've only been up 23 years, and there's not very many which belong to Colchester Borough Homes. There's only 2 roads that does belong to them. The rest of them is private or housing association. And it's a very pleasant area. Yes, facilities for the teenagers.
What in particular do you think that needs to be provided for teenagers in High Woods?
Well, I think they need like a shelter where they can all meet and discuss whatever they want to discuss, music and all the rest of it, because they do go onto the play fields, and of course they leave their drinking bottles behind and they make a noise, and I think they do need somewhere which is a little bit away from houses, but they need somewhere where they can communicate among themselves and which is theirs and for them to look after.
Supplies housing, I reckon.
Would you care to kind of elaborate on that? Is there any particular... Why do you think it does?
Well, that's what they're supposed to do, and that's what they do. They supply housing for people who need it.
Do you think there's anything particularly good about the way they do that? Anything that you think that's particularly kind of outstanding?
Not particularly, no.
Okay.
Yes, communication.
Why do you think they need to communicate better?
Well, they are interacting much better with tenants on the service than they used to, but there are still gaps. They do not always communicate what's going on, and I think tenants and leaseholders need to know what's going on. Committed, enthusiastic staff who've also been very well trained. I've got a nice green open space in front of me, which is very nice. Where I actually live is fine. The other end of Grinstead Estate is not so good, but where I live it's fine. I get very little antisocial behaviour anymore. A few teenagers play football, but they're no bother.
Caring for the tenants, to start with, which I have found over the years, has changed so much that we're not numbers anymore. We're names, we're people, we're human beings. At the moment, the repairs is superb. I cannot fault them, actually, in any shape or form at the moment. That's a hard one to think about, what they could do really much better at the moment. I think sometimes if they did not have so many managers and more workers, that would be much better. I think it's the management of it. How they know what you want and listening to what you want. We have now found that out. I have found it out over the past couple of years over what they've just done for me within the past 4 weeks. Peaceful, quiet, good neighbours. Well, actually, around the area exactly where I live now, but there is one thing I'm trying to get going, is to get this pod going for the teenagers. I got the backing of the police. It's been passed by Essex County Council, and the Parish Council are turning it down.
So you think, essentially, there should be more facilities for teenagers?
Exactly, that's what we need there. There's nothing for them. They've got nowhere to go. It's all right saying go to the market, because they can't go to the market, because the person that runs it will not allow them under 18. He will not even allow an 18th birthday party at the market, which was built for the people, which we all give a £5 each for the brick. And another councillor, because his wife does the Duke of Edinburgh. Well, it's not us that the people, the teenagers we're fighting to get the teenagers off the streets who've got nowhere else to go with drugs and alcohol. Yes, I think I would. Because if it's going to improve people's environment, yes, and their home living.